Right, back again. Part 2, the afternoon session. After going back to the car, getting fed and watered, and grabbing my reserve cash, wedge of reserve cash, I went back into the fray and went back into the hall, walked straight across, behind the seating area, in front of the the place where they were doing all the PA and stuff, and there was a big table selling t-shirts, and I thought, well, I think I'll get a Transformers t-shirt soon. I haven't got one, and I had a look around at what they'd got, and I selected this one. It's Grimlock. Is it Fall of Cybertron Grimlock? Yes, it is, and I quite like that. So message there for one of my subscribers, Stu the Mighty Grimlock. Got 4 Grimlocks. At this event, I haven't actually seen the other ones, so there's Grimlock number 3, Grimlock 1, Grimlock 2, Grimlock number 3. Let's carry on. So, while I was having my lunch, I was thinking I'd seen a bot at one of the sellers that I thought, well, maybe I can get one of those. So I went back in after I got my t-shirt, went back round to the back right-hand corner, the right-hand wall in the corner, and there was a big long wall, a massive great stall, and it's got huge great boxes, big crates on the table full of loose bots. Some of which are complete, some are incomplete, in plastic bags. And I'd seen one earlier in the morning, a Leader Class Optimus Prime. And I thought, well, now shall I get one of these? And during lunch break, I'd convinced myself that, I've got to get me one of these. So I was looking around, wasn't quite sure which one it was. But I've since found out it's the Revenge of the Fallen one. So I got me Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. Now, I think this is one of those bots that you just gotta own if you're a serious Transformers collector, because it's down as one of the most complicated and sophisticated Transformers to transform. It's ridiculous. And I've just wanted to see for myself what it was like, and I thought the only way is to get one. It's complete, the electronics all seem to work, so does the lights and sounds, and I paid 25 quid for it, which I thought was quite good. There was a couple of them there. I plumped for this one, even though it actually came in bot mode. So I've transformed it back into truck mode, but I did cheat a bit. I did go on YouTube last night and look at, I think it was Optimus's video, was it Piau's video, where he does the transformation. So I managed to transform him back into truck mode. But, I've got one, so Smizno, this one's for you. I know you like your Optimi, so got him. Next, from the same stall, I spied him and I thought, I quite like that character in the Cybertron show. Cybertron Mudflap. Now, his alt mode is this huge, great, sort of crane lorry with more wheels than you care to mention. And his Cyber Planet Key gimmick is is this thing. It's the spring's a bit floppy, but it's huge. It's one of the biggest sort of weapons you'll get on any Transform. Well, certainly the longest. And I quite like the character from the show, because he's kind of got like an Arnold Schwarzenegger sort of Austrian accent going on, and he sort of changes sides. He's sort of Autobots. Well, he starts off with Decepticons, then he goes to Autobot because he's got a bit of a rivalry with Landmine, and it's great. I love this guy in the show. He's brilliant. So I saw him, I wanted him, I'm having one of that, and he cost me the pretty some 12 quid, which I was quite happy with. Next, having failed miserably in the morning to get some comics, I found a stall that had some of the smaller combined volumes. So I had a root through and I thought, oh yeah, I remember these stories. Target 2006. If you're into the G1 comics, this is the signature story for the G1 comics in my opinion. It ran parallel to the movie when it came out in 1986, and it's just an awesome story, and I love it to bits, so I had to get that. But also, I got Legacy of Unicron and Fallen Angel, because these comics have a certain horned bounty hunter in them. But I also remember these stories as being really great, and as you saw earlier, it's a story that's got the Inferno moment in it. It's the comic that's got the Inferno moment in it, so I had to get it for that. So picked them up. They were priced at £5 for two and £3 for one, but I got a little bit of money off, so I got the three of them for 12 quid. So I was quite pleased about that. So I've actually got some comics back of a sort. Anyway, then go to another stall. Someone was selling bagged platinum Fall of Cybertron Grimlocks, and so I thought, yeah, I quite fancy one of those for 20 quid. So got me a Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. I had a little play with this guy last night, and to be honest, I'm not that impressed with him. Not compared to the other Grimlocks I've got, but a bit more on that later. And this is Grimlock number 4, by the way. So I picked up 4 Grimlocks, and this is Grimlock number 4. So, Stu, again, this one's for you. 4 Grimlocks. Okay. So, yes, right. Then I went back to that stall in the corner, in the left-hand corner, who why is that the light bloody flashing away? Anyway, I went back to that stall in the corner where I got most of my other stuff, my G1 stuff, and I was after Cybertron, another Cybertron character, because I'm a big fan of the Cybertron series, and one of my favourite characters from the Cybertron series is Vector Prime. Now, there was loads of Vector Primes about, but most of them were missing all his bits, like his Minicon partner, his sword, you know, all his extra bits. And apparently this character is prone to the colours fading on him or something, I don't know. But I eventually found a complete one at that little stall in the corner that I kept visiting. And there he is. He's fully intact. He's got his sword. He's got Safeguard, his Minicon partner. You can stick on his arm. And he comes, of course, with his Cyberplanet key. So, 100% complete Vector Prime, 25 quid. Yeah, again, happy with that. Really wanted to get this guy. Again, not quite exactly a mini grail, but it was someone that I was really looking to get. And then I had another wander around for a bit, and I thought, well, let's see if I can get hold of some more comics. And I found another stall that was selling the loose G1 comics. So I thought, well, think of a story in the G1 comics that I really liked. And I thought, I know, in the national interest. But I couldn't remember what issues it was, so I was having a flick through the comics, and then I saw this one. And I thought, right, that's the one. So I thought, right, which volume is this? Which number is this? This is part 3. So obviously this is number 76. So I need number 75 and 74 and 77. So I had a route through. And got that one's got a rip in it. There we go, we got 75, 76, 74, 75, 76. So basically all the comics for that particular story. So that's the Dinobots Cut Loose, Double Jeopardy, Swoop Up and Blown Away, and this one has it all, but you can see that one has got a rip in it somehow, so I don't know whether that's been done recently, I don't know, I'll have to look into repairing that. And I also picked up this one because it's the first sort of like the precursor to the Target 2006, because I wasn't sure whether this comic was in the combined volume, but it is, so kind of didn't need to buy this one, but they were £2 each, these comics, so I bought 5 of them for a tenner. So 5 G1 comics, so I'm going to have to look into getting some more of these, because like I said, I used to have loads, I had about 200 odd of these when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved them. They was my Transformers universe when I was a kid. Right, so now I went looking for a specific bot that I wanted, because kind of a story. My last car boot sale, I picked up a few things, including a boxed classic stroke RID Mirage, and to all intents and purposes it looked like a proper one, and then somebody, as soon as I posted the video up, somebody says, oh, by the way, that Mirage you've got is a fake. And I thought, well, how can you tell? And when I got out and played with it, sure enough, really crappy build quality, loose joints, yada yada yada. So, but it was made to look exactly like a proper one. So I thought, well, okay, if that's the case, I want to get hold of a proper, you know, Robots in Disguise or Classics Mirage. And it took a bit of hunting. And I think I actually paid a little bit too much for this guy, to be honest. But I managed to find one. And there we go. Obviously, I've had a quick go with it this morning, when I was getting up. A quick play with him in bed. And yeah, the plastic quality is different on it. The waist joint is a bit loose on this, but it doesn't keep popping off like the one on my rip-off one. The head doesn't flop around all over the place. You know, the weapon fits in his hand properly, and all those other things. It's got a few sort of paint blemishes on this, to be honest. But, you know, I've bought this for a specific reason, and that reason is I've had some ideas for some new videos which I will be doing in the future, and one of them is I want to do a direct comparison between this and the knockoff that I've got. And there's another bot that I pick up a bit later, which is another one that's kind of, you know, going to help me out in that regard. But yeah, 25 quid I paid for this guy, which was a bit steep, I think. I'm sure you could have got him cheaper than that, but he was the only one I could see, so I paid the money. Could have got a lot more bots for that. Right, so what was it next? Then I decided to go down the old third-party route. Now, there's quite a few sellers selling the third-party stuff, especially the big, impressive ones, you know, like reformatted Hexatron and Citizen Stack, you know, the Ultra Magnus analogue from not sure which one that's from, but anyway, very impressive, but also very expensive. But there is one guy, one third-party bot that's come out recently that I thought, I want to get me one of those, and it's because of the alt mode. And I'd seen him earlier in the morning, and I thought, well, I want one of those, but not that particular colour. I wanted the stacks. Was it the stacks or the other version of this? But I got this, the X-Transbot Master Miniseries MMO1 Krank, or Huffer, you know, analog. Now, the reason I've got this is because of this. The alt mode is based on a real truck. It's based on a Dodge Commando 100 articulated tractor unit. And if you don't believe me, look at this picture. It's a real vehicle. It's not a made-up vehicle, it's a proper vehicle. The only thing it hasn't got is the Dodge badge on the grille. But, you know, it's got the other badges, it's got the 100 badge, it's even got the turbo badge which appeared on certain models. So yeah, I wanted to get one of these. Now, they do a few recolours, they do the blue one, and they've got the new one that's come out in the red and the blue, who's called Hoss. Now, if I'd have seen him, I would have got him. Because my road car that I drive around is also called Hoss. It's the nickname I've got for him. And it's a Mazda 323F BA model, 1998 model year, in silver, Imola limited edition. But I would have gone for him, but he wasn't available. This was the only one. Well, I actually saw two of these, and the other one was this is it, a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. It was an exclusive for a Comic Con for a convention in America, and it was like 3 times the price of this. It was like £100, and I thought, I ain't buying that. But 45 quid, I could stretch to that. So up to this point, this is the most money I've ever spent on a single transforming toy. 45 quid, but that might change in the future. And then I thought, well, I've got one, I might as well get another. So I went to another stall that was also selling third-party things, and I got this guy, which is a sort of a recolour of a third-party Perceptor. Now, they did have the one in the Perceptor colours in the blue and red, but I thought, well, no, this is the third-party one. I'm going to go for the black and white. So here's Micro Robo. So I haven't opened these yet because I wanted to keep these guys in the box until after I've done my whole video, and then obviously later on we'll hopefully be doing reviews on these, you know, third-party reviews on these new ones and some of the other new bots I've got. So I've got so many new ideas for videos that I can do, but maybe a little bit more on that later. So I got this guy, and it was only 20 quid, so which I thought, well, that's you know, that's a reasonable price. So picked him up as well. And then, you know, things were starting to wind down. I didn't have much cash left. Only had about 20 odd quid left. As you come into the hall, you've got like the control desk, and they've got the table where they was doing the raffle, and there was a load of postcards laid out on the table, and I had a look at them and I thought, oh, and there was one postcard in particular. I said, oh, I want that. So I called the assistant over and says, how much are these? They says, oh, they're you know, 5 for £1. So I had to choose 5 others. So they're postcards from auto assemblies past. So the first one I got was Rat Trap, because I likes me Beast Wars, and Rat Trap's an awesome character from Beast Wars, so I got him. Then there's this black and white artwork of the characters from Beast Wars. I mean, it's got, you know, it's got Rhinox, it's got well, it's the Maximals, it's got Rhinox, it's got Cheetah, it's got Rat Trap, it's got Depth Charge, Optimus Primal, and Silverbolt gets in there as well. So yeah, I had to have that. Then we got this one. We've got G1 Grimlock facing off against Transmetal Megatron from Beast Wars. Kind of like that. And then we got this this nice picture of Fall of Cybertron Soundwave. But the main reason I got these postcards was this. Death's Head! Oh yes, I saw that, I've got to get that. And I promptly marched straight over to the other side of the hall where Andy Wildman was just sat there minding himself of business, and I says, would you be so kind as to sign this for me please, sir? And he put his moniker on it, so awesome. And he says, oh, are you going to be going to the little talk at 4 o'clock in the other room, the return of Death's Head? And I said, I'm going to be there, so had to have that. So well pleased with that. It's the only thing I got signed. It's the only person, you know, the only thing I've ever had any aspirations of getting signed. So I got a signature on a bit of card. You know, lovely, love it. So, like I said, I only had about 20 quid left, and what can I get? And I'd been around the hall, God knows how many times, and this one particular seller had this. Well, I'd seen Alternators Swindle in quite a few stalls, mostly loose, going for around 20-25 quid. And I've got the knockoff Swindle, which is incomplete, he's missing his arms. But I've got one, and I kind of wanted to see what the differences were. I mean, I kind of knew what the differences were, but I thought, well, it'd be nice to have one so that I can do a comparison between the two. Again, you know, getting back to that old RID Mirage thing. You know, another bot, you know, a knockoff bot and an original bot doing a comparison. So I looked around, and then I saw someone had a boxed one. And I thought, great, even better when you look at the price. 15 quid for a boxed one. And you can't go wrong at that. 15 quid for a box Alternators Swindle. Awesome. So that was a no-brainer. And then I had about 5 quid left, and I thought, well, I can't get a lot with 5 quid. And I went over to a stall looking at some loose bots. There was a Cybertron Dirt Boss there that I was, for 5 quid, that I was like, shall I or shan't I? And then there was next to it, there was a couple of small trays full of spare parts, and I thought, well, I wonder if I can find some spare parts for the bots I've got at home. So I had a rummage through, and the first thing I found was Movie Jazz's rifle. Now, I've got Movie Jazz, he's missing his rifle, the back part of his car mode, and his head. So there was loads of Movie Jazzes that I could have bought another one for, you know, a couple of quid. But I don't know, I'm stupid. I'm going to try and fix up the one I've got. So bought that for 3 quid. And then I found this. A tail wing for Skywarp. My Skywarp is very poorly. He hasn't hardly got any bits. So I was rooting through to see if I could find any other bits, but unfortunately this is the only one I could find. And I did lose this. I thought I'd left it there or dropped it on the floor, and until just before I started these videos I thought I'd lost this for good, but turns out it had just when I put it in the bag it had just, you know, it had just dropped down inside Swindle's box. So when I opened it up, there it was. So I hadn't lost it, so there you go, 2 quid for that. It's only a spare part, but... And that was basically the end of the afternoon session, all spent up. Bought 9 more bots, spent 225 quid, and I was absolutely skint. I'd only got pence left in my pocket. So that was it. That was the afternoon session done. Over the course of the day, I'd spent, you know, nigh on 450 quid. And at the end of it, I'd got 21 bots and a few comics, a t-shirt, and a couple of bits. So yeah, it was quite a successful auto assembly in regards to kits that I've bought. obviously I'll be working my way through this stuff and doing reviews of it as time goes. Come up with a few ideas for some upcoming videos. I want to do a Grimlock review, seeing as I've picked up 3 toys and a t-shirt. So I want to do a sort of a video that's sort of like a homage to Grimlock for Stu the Mighty Grimlock. And then there's the knockoff comparison videos that I want to do for the Alternators Swindle and RID Mirage. And obviously then there's all the other stuff which I will try to get through as and when I can. So that's the end of my haul video. I am going to do another video where I'm just going to chat briefly about my general experience of auto assembly. So that will be following next. So see you in a bit.